Assalamu alaikum and good greetings. So today I will be watching a video by Abdullah titled How My Life Improved After Leaving Islam. Hashtag Awesome Without Allah. So that is his video. He is an ex-Muslim, I believe. And I have watched several videos and also react to several videos of him. But this is about how his life improved after leaving Islam. So without further ado, let's watch.
This is your friendly neighborhood ex-Muslim Abdullah Samir. I'm here to tell you how my life has improved after leaving Islam. You see, to me, this hits really close to home. My life has improved exponentially after leaving Islam. Leaving Islam was like leaving a dark cave. When I left Islam, I experienced a sort of mental relief. Like a weight had been lifted off my shoulders. No more guilt and fretting and worrying about some God in the sky that'll get angry if you say or do the wrong thing. Wrong in quotation marks. No more cognitive dissonance trying to balance Islamic teachings versus what feels right to me.
Okay, interesting. So I think the context here is he leaving a religion, right? If I understand correctly, because the concept of God, as he put it, dictating your life when you can actually think for yourself what is good and bad. So I think from that perspective, it goes across to all religion then, in terms of what he's leaving behind, having a God, right? Not just leaving Islam in that case.
No more trying to make sense out of nonsense. When I was a Muslim, I was constantly evaluating everything against Islam. This book says so and so. What does Islam say? Is it compatible with this teaching? Can I accept this, or do I have to discard it? Do I have to feel guilty about reading this? I can now read whatever book I want. I can pick up The Selfish Gene, which beautifully explains evolutionary stable strategies, or read a short history of nearly everything that explains how we humans over history gradually improved a model of our world, and how scientific discoveries clicked in so beautifully together. I need not worry about whether it's against Islam to learn such things, whether it'll corrupt my iman or misguide me to learn about real science. Not this Adam and Eve nonsense, but a real human history. Islam is full of ludicrous beliefs, but I didn't want to admit that as a Muslim. A funny example: if someone asked me if I believed in ghosts, I would say I only believe in the Islamic jinns, because they're real. Ghosts aren't real. But angels, Burak, heaven, hell, Gog and Magog, Allah's throne on waters, Satan, shooting stars that chase the devils, ants that talk to each other, animals all going on a boat together, Moses splitting the sea, and so on are all real. None of this is real. It's all made up fables. And I can finally admit that, and it's...
Okay, so many of those examples, because when I listen to that, okay, I can understand if you believe that there's no such thing as a creator, then obviously all of those will just nonsense. But what funny is this, to me it is funny, I think, because someone from a Christian background, I think, asked me to watch his video, Abdullah Samir's video, but his point, he's basically sees every religion, including and especially Christianity, especially when you look at the examples, those are the examples that is very much similar between Islam and Christianity, right? Including Moses splitting the sea. So that is interesting. That is interesting in the sense that just because he used to be a Muslim and now attacking Islam, a Christian that asked me to reevaluate my position and go towards Christianity cited someone that shooting against commonality between Islam and Christian as a source that I should watch, right? So it is interesting in a way to me, right? But anyway, the very fact that we accept what is okay, if I take a step back, for me to accept anything that is being mentioned in the Quran or in the Bible or in the Torah, etc., it has to first being established that that is the truth and that is from the creator, because once that is established, then the creator knows best, right? So there's some process there before that. Now if I straight away push someone, you just have to believe in Quran because I say so, etc., then obviously those kind of faith or iman is not real, because it's more of a blind faith that is coincidentally aligned with the truth from a Muslim perspective, right? Yeah, so I'm not sure, because that sometimes is what is worrying to me in terms of some things that is happening in the Muslim community, where certain thing is being pushed without building the foundation, being critically analyzing why do we actually conclude that there's a creator and this is from the creator. If you just put that aside and just believe this is the one, this is fundamentally it is no different than someone just believing anything else, even though they are coincidentally believing in the truth, but the foundation is not based on the truth, it's based on blind faith, which is so fragile, and hence the outcome will be like this, for example.
Sits well in my mind. Much better than trying to reconcile a God that was one day incredibly involved and then all of a sudden completely absent. I save so much time too. I don't have to wake up and do useless adhkar or prayers anymore, but I now meditate. And let me tell you, the difference between the namaz and meditating is night and day. Meditation can change your life. Namaz is just an annoying ritual that was used to make Muslims obedient to Muhammad and read his poetry, aka the Quran, as much as possible.
What's the word he said? Mosque? Is it mosque? Is it mosque or what is it? Is it he's referring to the congregational what is it? Congregation, solat in congregation, the solat jamaah. Is it, because I'm not sure what he is referring to in comparison to meditation.
Financially, life has improved dramatically. I'm no longer encumbered by the Islamic ban on interest, and one of the first things I did when leaving Islam was to buy a home, my own home for my family. And if I die, my life insurance policy, also haram, ensures that the house is paid off and they will not want for anything. Isn't this a million times better than what I had before? Renting month to month and no real stability for my family. No more worrying about your kids getting corrupted by the public school system and forking out thousands of dollars for Islamic school. And yes,
okay, the fact that Islamic school is much pricier, the fact that I'm not sure his background, because from Malaysia we have all the established alternatives, right? The takaful, the Islamic finance system, Islamic banking, etc. So we do not have perhaps the issues that he is pointing out. I'm not sure from where there's this like vacuum in terms of Islamic compliant financial product, right? Because the way he says it, as if Muslim can only rent and not buy. I'm not sure, because I do not know from where, his background and what. Yeah.
My kids still say wallahi. Traveling has become so much easier too. The little things are so much easier. We don't have to worry about finding halal meat. We can eat wherever and whatever we want. Tried bacon? How about a sangria? Not a huge fan, but worth trying once. We don't have to find a place to do wudu and then find a place to pray every few hours. Not to mention, no more awkward washing your feet at the sink in the office anymore. No more wasted hours on Quran memorizing or reading 7th century nonsense that doesn't apply in today's world. No more trying to make sense out of hadith that never made sense.
So when he said never apply to this world, so I'm not sure what he's talking about. Unless the whole perspective he has now is everything is about the worldly life. If that is the case, that it makes sense, right? Because that is valid to anyone who oppose any form of religion, right? Why would I focus my time to worship the creator when I can do or use that time for what I desire, right? Obviously that is better for your life, and hence my life improved after leaving religion. Obviously, there's no restriction for whatever. That makes sense if you truly believe that there's no such thing as a creator and there will be no accountability in the end. Yep.
Kill the black dog, or drink in 3 gulps, or sleep on your right side, or put the fly in the drink if it falls in. The things that people think you leave Islam for, like drinking alcohol, drugs, and sex with multiple women, don't even feature in my life. The things that matter to me are what I choose on my own accord. I am the master of my own life. I took my life back from Muhammad. I am no longer a slave to his desires and his wishes. And
yeah, so that's the main point here, I think, right? What he just said in terms of living religion, right? I am the master of my own life. When of course I think this is common for any similar structured religion where you actually surrender to the Lord and the Master, right? So that's the main distinguishing, right? So obviously, in a certain perspective, if you just look at the worldly life, me as my own master will improve my life from my perspective, because everything is about this world, right? There's nothing else. So why would you waste your time and energy to do something else, right? So it makes perfect sense, and we can understand why his conclusion is as such. But for anyone who believe that there is a creator, then your perspective will be different, right? Those fundamental questions will be there, right? Is it okay for me to just live the whatever way I want when there's creator and he has declared something, right? Even if we take a step back and we haven't found, okay, which one is the correct one from the creator? Is it Islam or Christianity or Judaism or whatever? Still, that search continues to determine which is the one truly from the creator, right? If you truly already believe that this world is created, and hence you wouldn't think in this way, right? So it is interesting because so far, when the title is after leaving Islam, the fundamental until this point at least is living religion or living believing in a creator, basically, essentially, right?
neither am I a slave to my own desires. I choose to live my life according to what will make me successful in the long term. That means I am no slave to my desires, but I put in energy into my health, into exercise, into spending time with my family, spending time doing things I enjoy. I watch TV, I make videos, I read books, although I've not read anything in a while now since the lockdown. If you speak to my friends, people like Abdullah Gondal, Vidu Wids, and Hiz Sultan, they will tell you the same. Life couldn't be better. We aren't missing a thing. Actually, there is a thing. I do miss a few small things. Because I invested so much into Islam, all my friends were Muslim. So I'm studying again to make new friends and to start a new life post-Islam. It's not easy, especially if you leave Islam and are older. So I do miss some of that. But it's nothing specific to Islam. It's just my life choices and how I decided to live. I've made so many friends now, including other ex-Muslims and the occasional rare Muslim friend, that I can say I'm happy without that formal community. Not to mention, the same community includes friends of 10 plus years who wouldn't help me move homes simply because I write about Islam. So they still prioritize their God over people in their life. I don't want anything to do with people like that. That is how I am awesome without Allah. Thanks for watching. I wanted to say thank you to my patrons, all 80 of you, as well.
Okay, so that's the end. Now, what he mentioned about the type of friends that wouldn't help you, right? That's not really, when you leave that behind, that's more about leaving that kind of people rather leaving God, right? Because, well, I don't know, I do not, how would you directly, okay, I to be fair, I know some Muslim that think that way and act that way, right? They do not behave in a way that they should do when they are with non-Muslim, for example, right? Of course, from a Muslim perspective and Muslim discussion, that is a fitnah that should be dealt with. So I do understand certain perception that is due to some action of Muslim, which makes it more difficult for me to discuss on why certain perception is so wrong. because there are some Muslim that sort of justifying those perceptions. So that is the thing that becomes my, you know, a passion or hope that I can function in rectifying those things, so that hopefully one day people cannot accuse of anything illogical about Islam, because there will no longer be any Muslim that act and, you know, practice certain things that you know, indirectly smear the name of Islam, perhaps without them realizing, because they thought that is Islam. Culturally, they are brought up in that way, and they think that is Islam, which is one of the problem within Muslim community, unfortunately. But that's a topic for a different video, I think. So there you go. I'm not sure. As I mentioned, if you look at this video, it's not fundamentally about Islam itself, living Islam itself, that make his life improved. It's living God altogether, right? Yeah. There you go. See you next time.